Dear students, today we are going to see about the microwave antennas and its types. Before going with that, I request everyone kindly to subscribe our channel so that we will be getting our videos frequently based on education and technology. Come, let's go into the video. Let us see the various types of antennas and its functions. As we all know that the electromagnetic waves travel faster in vacuum than in any other medium. The electromagnetic waves travel in straight lines unless they are acted upon by any other medium from an external source. The strength of the electromagnetic waves reduces as they spread out from the point of origin. For example, we can say that a signal from a 2 km length, it is starting from a starting point, will be only 1/4 of the strength when it reaches 1 km of this from the source. As the same with another example, a signal which travels 3 km from the source will be only the 1/9 of the strength that at the 1 km point. This is the variation we will be getting while we are transmitting the electromagnetic signals. The electromagnetic radiation comprises both an electric and a magnetic field. The two fields are right angles to each other at the end of the direction of propagation. That is, we can say it as right angles to both the fields. The plane of the electric field defines the polarization of the wave. Thus, the polarization of an antenna is the orientation of the electric field with respect to the Earth's surface, and it is determined by the physical structure of the antenna and by its orientation. Thus, the radio waves from the vertical antenna will usually be vertically polarized. The radio waves from a horizontal antenna are usually horizontally polarized waves. The vertically polarized signals uses omnidirectional dipole antenna, whereas the horizontal polarized signals uses directional Yagi antenna. Now we will see what is an antenna. An antenna is a device that is made of efficiently radiative and receive radiated EM waves. An antenna is an electrical conductor or a system of conductors in which it radiates electromagnetic energy into space, and which it collects the same, that is EM, energy from the space in two-way communication. The same antenna can be used for the transmission purpose and as well as the reception purpose. Now we will see some of the basic types of antennas. The types of antennas includes horn antenna, parabolic antenna, slot antenna, dipole antenna, dielectric antenna, printed antenna, and phase array antennas. The horn antennas are very popular at ultra high frequency range with a range of 300 MHz to 3 GHz and are at higher frequencies. The horn antenna often have a directional radiation pattern with high antenna gain, which ranges up to 25 dB in some of the cases, but normally the horn antenna has a range of 10 to 20 decibels. That is a typical range for horn antennas. The horn antennas have a wide impedance bandwidth, implying that the input impedance is slowly varying over a wide frequency range. The gain of the horn antennas often increases as there is an increase in frequency of operation. This is because the size of the horn aperture is always measured in wavelengths. A higher frequency has a smaller wavelength. Since the horn antenna has a fixed physical size, the horn aperture is having more wavelengths across higher frequencies. The horn antennas have very little loss, so that the directivity of horn antennas is roughly equal to the amount of gain. The types of horn antenna is shown in this video as E-plane horn antenna, H-plane horn antenna and pyramidal horn antennas. These are some of the types of horn antennas. Now we move on to parabolic antennas. The parabolic antennas uses the reflector antenna pattern in which the EM waves can be reflected at a focal point using a metal plate. This is the basic origin of using the parabolic antennas. The parabolic antenna usually takes one of the two forms as the corner reflector or the parabolic reflector, and generally it is characterized by having a very high gain. It should be pointed out that the reflector itself is not an antenna, and therefore some of the conventional antenna is placed at the focal point at the parabolic antennas at the reflecting point. The parabolic reflectors typically have a range of 30 to 40 decibels of high gain. They also have a reasonable bandwidth, with the fractional bandwidth being at least 5% of commercially available models. These parabolic antennas can be available with a very wide band in case of huge dishes. The smaller dish antennas typically operates between 2 to 28 GHz. The large dishes can operate in very high frequency range of 30 to 300 MHz, typically need to be extremely large at these operating bands. Now we move on to the next antenna, that is slot antenna. It consists of a metal surface, usually a flat plate, with a hole or slot cut inside and out. When the plate is driven as an antenna by a driving frequency, the slot radiates electromagnetic waves in similar way to a dipole antenna. Often the radio waves are provided by a waveguide, and the antenna consists of slots in that waveguide. The current distribution along a dipole antenna is roughly sinusoidal. It falls to zero at the end and is at maximum in the middle of its surface. The voltage is low at the middle and it rises to a maximum at the ends. It is generally fed at the center at the point where the current is at a maximum and the voltage is minimum. Thus, it provides a low impedance feed point which is convenient to handle. The high voltage feed points are far less convenient and more difficult to use. In general, an antenna may be considered as a transducer that converts a guided EM wave to a transmitted wave or an incident wave to a guided EM waves. The antenna dimensions are generally referred to as wavelengths as units. Now we move on to the next antenna, that is dipole antenna. In order to analyze the dipole antenna, we are going to consider a thin radius of a structure. For a very small dipole antennas, the input impedance is capacitive, which means the impedance is dominated by a negative reactance value. As the dipole gets larger, the input resistance increases along with the reactance. At slightly less than 0.5, the antenna has zero imaginary component to the impedance, and the antenna is said to be resonant. If the dipole antenna's length becomes close to one wavelength, the input impedance becomes infinite. Now we will see the polar diagram of the dipole antenna. The radiation falls to zero along the axis of the RF antenna as it is expected. It can be viewed in this diagram that the radiation falls to zero at the axis. The dipole antenna consists of two terminals or poles into which the radio frequency current flows. This current and the associated voltage causes the electromagnetic or radio signal that to be radiated. The dipole is generally taken to be an antenna that consists of a resonant length of conductor out to enable it to be connected to the feeder. The radiation pattern of the dipole antenna is shaped like a toroid, that is a duffnet, symmetrical about the axis of the dipole. The radiation is maximum at right angles to the dipole, dropping off to zero at the antenna's axis. The theoretical maximum gain of a Hertzian dipole is 10 log 1.5 or 1.76 decibels. The maximum theoretical gain of a lambda by 2 dipole is 10 log 1.64 or 2.15 decibels as shown in this diagram. And this dipole antenna can be categorized into short wave dipole and a high wave dipole. A short wave dipole is physically feasible dipole formed between two conductors with a total length of L, which is very small as compared to the wavelength. Whereas the high wave dipole antenna is formed by two quarter wavelength conductors or elements, which is placed back to back for a length of lambda by 2. The larger the differential voltage, the greater the current between the two conducting elements. Similarly, the quarter wave monopole antenna is a single element antenna fed at one end that behaves as a dipole antenna. The quarter wave conductor and its image together form a half wave dipole that radiates only in the upper half of the space. Thus, we are here to see one more antenna, that is a folded dipole antenna, and it is formed with an additional wire that is connecting at two ends. The antenna are folded back until they almost meet at feed point, such that the antenna comprises one entire wavelength. This type of antennas are called as folded dipole antennas. And some of the radiation pattern of the dipole antenna is shown in this video. Here we are going to see the one more antenna, that is dielectric antenna. An antenna in the form of a section of dielectric rod excited by a radio waveguide or the post of a coaxial cable. A surface wave is generated in the rod of the antenna and propagates along the axis of the rod. The dielectric antennas are essentially a traveling wave antennas which consists of elementary electric and magnetic dipoles. The radiation of the dielectric antennas coincides with the axis of the rod. The rods of the dielectric antennas are made from dielectric materials with low attenuation of electromagnetic waves. The dielectric antennas are used mainly in aircraft radio equipment which operates on centimeter or decimeter wavelengths. These dielectric antennas are a little bit high expensive. The low cost alternative to free space high gain antenna designs such as Yagi-Uda and horn antennas are often more difficult to manufacture at these frequencies. Thus, we come to an end of this session, and in this video we have seen the antenna and its types and how it behaves with the electromagnetic signals. I hope we have given a basic idea regarding the microwave antennas and its types. If you have any comments, please do comments in our comment section. Before giving comments, kindly subscribe our channel and share with your friends, so that what we are posting here in our channel regarding education and technology, that will be frequently getting in your mobile. Thank you.